Hey everybody, good evening. This post is going to be about mindset, it's going to be about vision, goal setting, determination, meditation, and what it is you are what you continuously think about. So I've done about, I think this is number 50 on my Spreaker podcast episode. And I can't believe how far I've come with podcasting. I remember a very, very long time ago, I made my first podcast post. And, wow, it's just been a long time. I don't really post that consistently. I don't have that kind of schedule. I don't know if it's a lack of discipline or what, but I just don't post that frequently. Because my hands are in a lot of different areas, and I'm just a very busy person in general. Although I do sleep a lot, it is important for me to daddle in these other areas. I'll never be an expert at one thing. I just love learning new things. So the post again is about you are what you continuously think about. One of the things that I learned recently, like within the past couple of years, is you think about a lot of things throughout the day. Someone makes you mad, or you get furious at something and you just can't stop thinking about it all day. But the trick is to get your mindset in a different way of thinking. And it really is strange and odd how it works. But so if I think I am, therefore I am. I kind of just came up with that out of my but the thing, it really comes down to what you think about is who you are. So if you have a lot of self-worth about yourself, then nobody can really bring you down, because you're always thinking you're worth a lot and stuff like that. And so that has a lot of implications just right there. And I know there's just tons of other examples, of affirmation, thinking like that. So it's really important to talk good to yourself, and continuously doing that, even when others aren't going to do that for you. It's important to get into that habit of continuously talking good about yourself and being mindful of what your thoughts are about life, because the truth is nobody's going to do it for you. And we all have worked those jobs, those dead-end jobs where, sometimes we just don't like where we're at. And it's really frustrating because you're worth more. But it's really quite simple. It's just little adjustments in the things you do that will get you, it'll catapult you to a whole new level of thinking. It really is just a mindset. Me, for one, I have a lot of addictions, or I guess I could say I had a lot of addictions. But what I did is I learned to embrace who I am, through a lot of meditations and yoga. And what it does is it brings clarity into your life, and you start developing this conscientious way of thinking and this inner peace, and it makes you more aware. That's the mindfulness of the whole deal here is you are what you continuously think about. And that if you're feeding your brain with good things, then you're gonna see results. A lot of us, though, we don't want the hard way of doing it. I don't do yoga every day. I do yoga about as much as I make a podcast. It's not that often. But the idea there is that you're setting yourself up by doing good things like that. I know it's hard to do, but it's important. And I'm not saying any one of these things that I do, like yoga or meditation, is what you should do. But what I am saying is that sometimes you need to sacrifice what you are for what you'll become. And, that's just one of the things I've learned lately. It's important to be mindful of what you're thinking on a daily basis. You are what you continuously think about. And that's just kind of like where I've been at lately. And although I am not exactly where I need to be or want to be, I am working hard, and I'm doing the things that I should be doing in order to get me to where I want to go. So I don't know if people would say I'm very disciplined. I don't think I am, but I have gone pretty crazy, like left field, as far as trying different things all the time, seeing what works and what doesn't. I test a lot of things, and eventually some things stay and some things go. So some of the things, again, that I do are yoga, meditation. I have this affirmations thing where I listen to this app called Think Up, and it basically just, all it does is I say into the microphone my affirmations, and you can list like hundreds of them, and it's your voice, so then it just plays back to you with the background music. So that's like a good way of, again, it's like the law of attraction, where if you're not familiar with it, basically whatever you think becomes your reality, and that's really important. I'm checking down now at the chats to see if people are chatting, because I noticed I've been having a lot of live listeners lately, but I just been like looking down to see if anybody's gonna chat with me, because I know there's people listening. But so anyway, I don't want to get too off topic because I know your time is important. So again, the law of attraction is one of those things where, you know, you got to vision your future, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And I know you've thought about it. I know you've pictured in your mind, you know, those things, those ideas, those dreams, those people you want to become, and you see nothing remotely close to success in that general area of what you're thinking, because it happens to me too. I'm always thinking of becoming a DJ, and I have no idea how it's going to happen. There's people out there that I have no idea how they even got in there. I don't know if they're humble. I don't know what they are. And I honestly don't really, it's not that I don't care, it's that I am focused on me and how I'm going to get there. So it's not, I can't really hate on those people because they did something right to get there. Do you know what I mean? They're just in another realm, I guess you could say. And so, but the point is, you gotta go for your dreams. You have to see things that are, you know what you want, like you see it. You just got to get a little bit clearer with your picture, and that was the hard thing for me. What really helped me out a lot is there's an app on the smartphone. It's called Vine. I hope you're familiar with Vine. It's pretty popular, but it's like, just briefly, it's a whole bunch of micro videos where they only last like 5 or 10 seconds, and they just constantly repeat. But what it is I've started following a company called Visionary Minds, and they're just a channel on Vine, and I watch them, and they have the most beautiful music, you know, coupled with people who are living life and going for their dreams, and you can see them traveling the world. And what that does for me is it makes me think about what I want from life, you know, and it helps me get a little bit closer to what my ideal lifestyle is, or what I want it to be. And so you need to, again, that's the law of attraction, is I'm subscribing to these people on Vine, I'm subscribing to people on YouTube, I'm following other people that are doing what I want to do, I'm getting very clear about what I want, and I'm continuously thinking about these things all the time. I'm setting up automational triggers, that's just kind of a conceptual way of looking at it, but I'm constantly feeding my brain, if that's a simpler way of looking at it, full of information, so that I'm just constantly thinking about what I want, and I'm going to get it, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. So it's kind of, that's the mindset. You are what you continuously think about, and it will happen. You have all the tools right now in this era, to achieve your dreams. It really is, I don't know if a shame is a word, but you should be utilizing what you got right now. I don't know where you're at in the world. I think most of my listeners are in the United States. But again, if you don't have the internet, or if you don't have some kind of infrastructure, I don't know what to tell you. But again, the principle remains that you have to focus on on your vision. What you think about continuously becomes your reality. If you're thinking negative thoughts, honestly, negative things happen to you. And once you get it, like, I guess you could call it a game or whatever, but once you get it, then everything just starts happening for you, and it starts happening pretty fast. But sometimes, again, it's not as fast as we want it, but it does happen. Once you just change that mindset, I can't versus I can, then the whole entire, the universe gets out of your way. I think we've all watched enough motivational videos to know that the universe will get out of your way once you're determined to reach your goal, that sort of thing. And there's so much value in that. And one of these other things that I learned was there's a gentleman by the name of Brian Tracy. He's an author, speaker, coach, that type sort of thing. He's been around for a long time, and I followed him again. I followed him, and I followed him some more. And then one day, I saw a video where he demonstrated how to set proper goals. And nobody ever thinks about setting goals. Nobody does. Because, everyone likes to think they know what they want until you ask them what their goal is, and it's not set in stone. Like, it's not proper, or I guess you could say it's not thorough. So what Brian Tracy did for me in that video is he changed my life. He taught me how to set goals. And now that I know how to set goals, I implemented it, I took action, I added it to my blog post. But the fact remains that as long as I'm writing my goals consistently every day, and granted I don't do it every day, but for a while there I was doing it for 90 days straight, until now I pretty much got the idea that I need to write my goals every now and then. It's ingrained into me. But now those goals, I can't get out of my head. I'm still thinking about my goal of being a millionaire. I'm still thinking about my goals of making a specific amount of passive income from various different websites and companies. So you can see how it sticks to your brain, and you are what you continuously think about. I hope that really resonates with you well, and that goal setting is just one of the many measures that you can use to really just catapult your life. And just great things are starting to happen. So what if I asked you, what would you do if I had you just ask yourself a simple question? What's the craziest thing you can think about that you would want to have in your life? And then if you just kind of think about that for a second, I'm willing to bet it might be a few things at a minimum. A house. I'm sure a house, a big fancy house, or a beautiful house, or a comfortable house, probably crossed your mind. How about this? Maybe a boat or a yacht or a ship? And then I'm gonna ask you next is, how big are you thinking? That is the hardest thing for me to do, was to get my mindset out of thinking small. You cannot afford to think small anymore. You've got to think big. Before I was thinking a little sailboat, now I'm thinking a super yacht, all right? Before I was thinking, I don't know, VIP on Southwest Airlines, flying with them. Now I'm thinking private jet, okay? And you could probably tell by the tone of my voice that I'm not playing. All right, so what kind of action have I really taken towards a private jet? What actions have I taken towards these things? Well, I can throw you a few right now. Actually, probably only one. I'll just give you one. One of the actions that I have taken so far towards the private jet is there's a lot of applications right now. A lot of companies are offering jets for rentals. And what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and I'm reviewing those websites, and I'm putting links out there that, having people subscribe to their service, and I'll get a commission in return. So I'm not going to go in there too much in this podcast episode, but what I am saying is that right there can tell you, okay, he's taking action. He's surrounding himself with these thoughts of private jets. He's surrounding himself with pilot training courses. You can see now that it has everything to do with thinking about things. And gosh, it's just amazing. If we really lived for the rest of our lives, what could we accomplish? It's really hard. I feel for some of you out there who didn't really get raised up with people believing in you. I'm very aware of that, and I had gone through that as well. There's a lot of things in my life, or there was a lot of times in my life where I had a lot of self-doubt, or I just didn't have someone to believe in me. And we all know that we can achieve great things, but it's really hard when you don't have that person who says you're right. You can. and like that was hard for me. And then now it's just, I don't care necessarily what people think about me. I know that people are going to come into my life. And for some of us, if our parents were divorced, if we didn't have any siblings growing up, or if we didn't have any kind of people in our lives, it was really frustrating because you wanted to attract or make new friends, but you didn't really have the social skills. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, how in the world am I going to attract these people, right? And it's faith. That's what separates these people that are doing great things, I believe, and the people that are just kind of still in their doubts and worries and stuff like that. It's the faith, not religious faith, but faith. Like, you know without a doubt that if you keep believing, if you keep concentrating, if you keep focusing on your dream, you're going to eventually aspire, and you're going to see these things come to life. They're going to come to play. And until you're ready for it, through discipline, hard work, and just constant focus and attention on your goals and dreams, will you ever be ready for it? Will you ever be ready for success when it finally comes knocking at your door? And I believe you will be, but you got to focus. And it's not always hard work. What if it was just something simple like cutting onions? You know what I mean? Like, if it was just cutting onions, then you would be you can make it happen. Like, I guess the point I'm trying to make there is that what you focus on becomes your reality. And it's just absolutely amazing to think that that is it. I don't believe they taught me that in school. Yeah, they definitely didn't. So, gosh, it's hard because there's so many people that don't understand this basic concept that you are what you think about all the time. And, wow, I'm really glad that, I think this was a very quality post for those of you listening. I don't know what your background is. I don't know you 100%. But what I do know is that we all need a miracle. And if I can give you that, if there's anything I said in this post that actually, helped you out, I hope you take action. I don't care if you ever hear from me again, or if you're just browsing through podcasts or whatever. If there's anything I can tell you, it's take action after you read things. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. I hope you have a blessed rest of the day or night or wherever you're from, and keep rocking, keep believing, do everything you can in this life to bring fulfillment and happiness into your life and accomplish those goals. Thank you again. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.